JJ, Christian Clark with Mill.com here. Two of the things Stan has done since training camp is limiting shots at the rim and keeping opponents off of the foul line. Are you surprised, I guess, that 6 games in, you guys have already, implemented those things so quickly?
Not surprised. I mean, we spent a good amount of time in training camp, and we spend a good amount of time in film and in strategizing on those things. And I think for the most part, we've done a good job. We had at times a little bit of slippage in Phoenix, and they obviously shot the ball really well. That always helps teams. And then we had a little bit against Toronto in terms of slippage, but overall we've been really solid in terms of just loading to the ball and taking away the paint and relying on closing out, and then that second line, that second set of helpers. I mean, that's what our defense is based on, and it's been good so far.
One of the things that he said is that at times it's difficult to stay in that defense. Is they hit 2 or 3 threes in a row, and you start really thinking about the shooters. I mean, have you sensed that it's difficult to stay solid when they hit a few in a row?
Yeah, I think you tend to remember the threes more. We Stan brought up against Toronto. We came in at halftime and somebody was like, "Oh, Fred VanVleet's on fire," and he was 3 for 9 in the first half, but he was killing us in the paint and killing us getting to the free throw line. So, you and look, this is modern NBA basketball. Teams are shooting 53s a night sometimes, and that's across the board. So you tend to react a little bit, and that's where just trusting your base defense comes into play, and not creeping out and not worrying about that 3-point shot, and just relying on your help and relying on your ability to just kind of get that closeout and hopefully run that guy off the line, and then rely on help again. And there's a downhill effect to that.
What's up, JJ? This is Will from The Athletic. Just looking back at your play the past few games, what do you think's been the cause for some of the struggles? Do you think it's a matter of just not making the shots you're used to making, or do you think it's the type of shots you're getting is different in the system?
Yeah, it's funny. I said this to somebody the other day. I don't think I'm struggling shooting the ball. I just am not getting shots. I mean, that's for me to have a 1 for 4 shooting night. Like, is that a real shooting night? You know what I mean? To get off 2 threes in a game, like, is that? There's no rhythm or consistency there. So, I would love to have a 3. I don't want to jinx myself. I would love to have a 3 for 12 game. Give me a 3 for 12 game over a 1 for 4 game all day. So yeah, I had this a little bit at the beginning of last year. In terms of I had multiple games where I didn't shoot the ball. I had multiple games where I took 1 shot. Like it. I'm smart enough that I'll figure it out, and what I saw what Stan said yesterday, it's not on him. I mean, he can take all the responsibility. Like I'm a man. I've played in this league 15 years. I know I can play better, but I don't feel like I'm playing bad. I don't feel like I'm struggling. I feel like the opportunities just aren't there, and I've got to figure out how to get those opportunities in the way we're playing, and that's on me. And we can sit there and draw stuff up and all that, but I gotta figure it out, and I will. I'm fine. One year I started 3 for 25 from 3 playing for Stan, and I shot 40% for the year. So I'm always confident that the law of averages kind of even out, and I'll be around 40% at some point. All good.
JJ, this is Jim from Pelicans.com. As a team, is there something that you take away, or are you encouraged by the fact that you had a game that you shot on as a team that you shot under 40% and still won, and then the other night you guys shot 42% and still won? I mean, just to be able to get some of these wins, even though you're still working things out as far as short training camp and that kind of thing.
Yeah, we've talked about that. We want to rely on our defense. You don't want to shoot around 40% every game. You want to get to the point where you're consistently having that ball moving and the offense humming and feeling like you can get a good look and generate good offense every time down the floor. You don't want to be in those slug it out games every night. But the fact that we've shown that we can win with our defense, I think, is huge. And for us to be a playoff team and a good basketball team, we've got to be one of the better defensive teams in the league.
Daryl Wells, go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, David? I have a quick question for you. When you having a podcast and you somewhat have a media side, how does that affect how you approach media going forward, especially if you're being a veteran now?
I'm not, Daryl, you're gonna have to ask that question maybe in a different way. I also missed the first part of it. There was some background noise.
Gotcha, my apologies. Basically what I was asking is, with you having a podcast and somewhat being a part of the media, with you being a veteran, does that approach how you look at media now, or how you pose some questions, or is it still the same as before?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't really view myself as part of the media. The podcasting medium is a unique platform because it's generally just more of a conversation. I'm not out there breaking news. We do a little bit of analysis, but it's more about human interest and storytelling. And I think, and I think I've proven this throughout my career. Like, I've always had a great appreciation for what the media does and what you guys do, and I don't think that perspective has changed at all. I've always appreciated the members of the media that grind and put in the work like we do, and they're you guys are part of this business and this profession, and I've always had a great deal of respect for the media. That hasn't changed one way or another with me doing the podcast.
We'll go ahead.
Yeah, JJ, you mentioned a couple times last year how impressed you were with Brandon Ingram and the way he's kind of developed his game. What do you think about just the way he's played so far this year? Do you think he's maybe taking his game up another level with the way he's played so far?
I do. I do think he's gotten better, but that's just a testament to his approach, his preparation, his work, the amount of time he spends thinking, watching, talking about basketball. The guy is all consumed with it. He's all consumed with being great. I don't want to get ahead of myself with superlatives and make predictions on who I think he can become in this league, but we're seeing an incredible maturation and growth as a player of the last, call it 14 months since he got down here to New Orleans and started playing. 15 months, I guess it would be. But he's been great this year. If I had to point to one thing, I think his passing and his just playmaking. I think everything is a beat quicker in terms of making that delivery, and it may not seem like a lot to the observer, but when you're on the court and you're playing against some of the greatest athletes in the world, that beat matters. It could be a split second, could be half a second, but everything is just a little bit quicker when he's playmaking, and obviously we know him as a scorer and just an absolute bucket getter.
All right, thank you, JJ.
All right, thanks.